Y'all disrespectful. Don't respect me. You know who I am. You better recognize it's Saquon Barkley on mine, right? Woo, Saquon felt a little disrespected because he was asked to prove his worth to an organization and then ends up not being with that organization. We all know what that looks like, getting tested by somebody. And then when you pass the test, it wasn't for them to grade. It was someone else to go out there and get paid. And that's what happened with Saquon Barkley. And I want to talk about this because this is interesting because there are some profound things in what just occurred in New York and now Philadelphia. So let's let Saquon break it down as much as he can break it down on this. Let's listen to this clip.
I feel like the only way like the Giants wanted me if I was able to go show my worth to someone. Like I was able to go prove that like a team would want to pay me.
That wasn't like what it was. That's what it was. That was the reality.
Right?
They were basically challenging you to say, hey, this is how we value you. This is what we think of you. Go ahead, go see what's out there.
Yeah.
And you'll go find out that you're not worth you think you're worth.
Yeah, that's, I think you said it perfectly.
Yeah, she broke it down. This is how you get to lowballing. This is how you get to where we want to see what you're worth, not us assume what you're worth, right? And we're playing sports, meritocracy. In the meritocracy of sports, the merits are not constant. And I think that's the first thing that happens to us as athletes, us as performers, whoever you may be at your job, wherever it may happen, that the merits are not always the same. Think about it. Some teams, some organizations care if said player shows up on time. First in, last out. And then some organizations like, I don't give a damn what you do, including getting in trouble, as long as you balling on Sundays. Let's go back to yesteryear, Lawrence Taylor. Some of the war stories I've heard. Some of the times I've heard that he would just show up to the airport on a road game, get out the car, and literally they said he would launch his keys in the air, knowing that somebody somewhere was going to catch him and park his car. Do what he got to do on Sundays. Whatever after that, come back home Sunday night, whole different animal, right? Tearing up the town. Monday, I might come to practice. That was Lawrence Taylor. Those are just war stories. True or false, we get the idea. And then some organizations, they're like, look, are you uplifting others? Are you a part of this culture, this ecosystem we have right here? Are you a positive contributor? And you see some guys get paid, and you're like, why is he getting paid? He ain't getting paid. Let's flash forward to right now, where a CD Lamb is not getting paid, and it's not just numbers production based, right? You can have an organization that's been jaded. Oh, no. We ain't paying nobody too early, or when we wanted to. Before we did that, it didn't always turn out the way we wanted it to. Dez Bryant. So CeeDee Lamb doesn't get what he wants in part because Dez Bryant got his deal. You think about that ever? That's the point. So Saquon gets himself caught up in these whirlwinds, and he's asking himself, really, is it disrespectful? And how disrespectful is it that the Giants wanted me to go somewhere else and prove my worth? What kind of relationship is that? I want you to go cheat so that you can prove that somebody else wants your stanky ass. Right? You know what I mean? And that's where Saquon found himself. But I'm going to push back on that because I know my experience and I know all the athletes' experiences. They're always asking that question. That's the same question we're always asked in every single rep when we're performing, for sure. Sometimes every single rep, even in practice. The question is, what are you worth? What should we pay you for what you just did? Whatever you did, what is that worth? And if I say it's here and you say it's there, well, then you're going to have to get it with your muscle. As my boy Marcus Stroud, shout out to Marcus Stroud, always used to say, oh, you want to get it with your muscle. That means go get it. Not always they're going to give it to you. And sometimes we do get caught up in that as an athlete. We get caught up in, y'all already know. So give it to me. And they're like, nah, we know, not enough. We want you to show. That's how you going to get it, right? So Saquon, he's sitting there. Why y'all questioning me? Y'all know my worth. Y'all know my value. Y'all know how good I am. And they're sitting there pushing back saying, Saquon, we love you, big dog. We see what you can do. But we also have seen our team have to perform without you. We've been missing you, injuries, whatever it may be, sometimes impact, all right? Here's the crazy thing. You could be a running back balling out of control, but if you don't win those games, then they're going to start saying impact. So you miss games because you're hurt. Then you play in games and you don't always play well. Nobody has. Then you play well in games and y'all lose those games. That's 3 strikes before you even get to, no, I balled and we won. Now, if you ball and you win, you better be winning. Because winning, 10 wins, losing the playoffs, what you guys went to the playoffs once, right? Or not making the playoffs. We've seen that a few times. Yeah. How much is he worth? See, this is the craziest thing. Upstairs, they go into those rooms and talk that talk. They be like, and they all sitting across the room. You got everyone from the strength and conditioning coach because he don't really be working like that. Or, no, he killing it. He out here grinding. And then you got your assistant coaches. Yeah, he cool. Sometimes he sleep in the meetings, but hey, he a vet. And so you got the coach say, oh, no, he's always locked in. First one in. Oh, he's in the front row. He's answering the questions. He got the laser. He red dotting people. Got the head coach who's like, yeah, seems like everyone rallies around him. Or you got the head coach like, he kind of checks out, just does his own thing. And then you go from there and you got the GM. He's like, I could see a future in him. Yeah, it seems like that's the future for our organization. That's the type of player we want to embody. And then they also got the guy that's like, nah, he be leading these kids to the club, to the streets. He ain't for the focus. Once again, there's only really one way to win in sports, is to win. Everything else is counted against you in the court of negotiations. Oh, man, it was crazy to see that. So Saquon went and proved his value. Now, we know it's a suppressed running back market, so he had that working against him as well. He had to fight that as well. So you got all of those issues facing you as a headwind, and you went out there and got your money from Philadelphia. Salute to you. I just thought that this was an interesting process. This is what people don't get to see behind the scenes, how the game goes. And shout out to Saquon for actually being vulnerable enough to kind of admit, like, yeah, they wanted to know something about me that I thought they already knew. And that became